Well, I kind of doing a last ditch video here today. Been working on a 1955 all morning, at least attempting to, and I got it down to where I'm waiting on that damn wheel bearing. It is supposed to be here today at some point. It's 1 o'clock and it still ain't here yet. So that's literally the only thing I'm waiting on now. I've been sitting there for the last half hour just staring at the tractor, wishing I could back it outside and power wash it, because tomorrow the weather's supposed to go to shit and I don't know if I have a chance to do it. But anyhow, because of that, just to get a video for today, I figured I'd take the opportunity to finally just answer everybody's question that I've been getting about this thing since it first showed up again, and that's about the loader. This is a white 1170, which is the loader that was specifically made to go on the American 60 and the American 80. Obviously, with a little bit of tweaking, you can make it fit a 4-digit. The whole reason we ended up with this was initially we had that new idea 504 that we were going to put on here. And apparently Dad decided that he didn't like that because I was getting that loader ready to put on. And one day Dad said, "Hey, I found a loader." Like, I didn't know we were looking for a loader. I thought we had a loader. Well, he found this one down by Terre Haute, I think. It's at a New Holland dealer called Pig Equipment, P-I-G-G. Gave $2,000 for it, I think. Or was it $1,200? I can't remember now. It wasn't that much for, like, I mean, most loaders you see this size are going between $3,500 and $4,000. So it's a pretty hefty loader. But they had the loader and no tractor, and since the mounts and everything on it are specific to a 60 and an 80, they had it priced way low because they didn't think anybody was going to buy it, because there's not that many not that many of those tractors around to begin with. So we bought it, or Dad bought it. We brought it home. To get the mounts to work, the bolt pattern on the front mount is the 4-bolt pattern is the exact same between a American 60 and 80 and the 4 digits, except you have to trim, I think I ended up having to trim 1.5 inches or 1.25 inches off of the bottom of it, because on the 60s and the 80s the axle's tucked up underneath the tractor, and on the 4 digits it obviously sticks out ahead a little bit. And you had to be able to clear the front bolster, so had to trim a little bit off there, and that bolted right on. And the frame on a 60 and an 80 is shorter because it used the 4BT. So this up to this weld line here is the original rear trunnion, and it used a 4 bolts for the, or it used a 4-bolt mounting pad on the back of the frame on a 60 or an 80. Well, to get it to work right on here, we had to weld all 4 holes shut, because you have to move the bracket a little further forward to get it to work out right. We used 2 holes on the rear pad, and then extended the bracket out so you're catching both mounting pads, and then use a 4-bolt pattern off of the front pad to make the trunnion mounts. And other than that, that's really all we had to do. The loader itself didn't have to modify anything on it. It was just the bracket, which is the case with most loaders. Adapted them to a tractor they didn't come off of. But it's pretty stout. The frame itself, the loader arms, and the basic design of the uprights is the same as an Allied 590. The boom itself is the exact same as an Allied 590, and then the uprights on the back are similar, but the 590 used a different quick attach. They didn't have the same trunnion, so the bottom is different. I think even the front's the front's the same on a 590 if I remember right. But that was what made it specific to a white 1170, was the way it mounted. When we got it, it was just had a bucket, and we wanted a grapple, and we got a set of pallet forks for it, and we wanted quick attach. So there's a place called Everything Attachments down in North Carolina that if you send them the dimensions off of your loader, they will build you a SAE skid steer quick attach plate, which is what we did. So that's a quick attach plate factory designed specifically for this loader, which makes it really damn handy. It moves your pin center out just a little bit, but it's surprisingly, the way they keep it tucked up against the loader frame, you don't lose a whole lot of breakout with it. And it's a stout sucker, because I've picked up some really big logs, like long ways, trying to drag them out of a fence line and stuff. And the only issue I had was one time on the Grapple, when I was working over at my house, I stuffed a log in between two of the plates in the Grapple, and it unhooked one of the quick attach locks, and it stayed hooked on one side. The Grapple came undone. I pushed into a pile and rolled it I had it tipped forward, and I rolled it back, and it twisted that pipe because it only pulled back the side that was unhooked. So I just cut the box tube out and welded a new piece of box tube in, and it was fine. But it's a really nice loader. It's built heavy where it needs to be, but it's not so heavy that it looks like you hung the tractor on the loader, not the other way around. And it's never been broke, it's never been bent. I mean, it's a perfect loader for a 60 to 80 horse tractor. They did really good when they sized this thing out. And with the hydraulics on this thing and the cylinder, obviously on a 60 and an 80, I think those things are up closer to 2250 or 2400 psi on the hydraulics. They're more of a modern hydraulic system, where this one factory I think was only 1600, and I think we shimmed it up to 1850, which would be the same as a 1655, I think. But the hydraulic pressure on this one's bumped up to the newer spec. But with that, I've picked up about 3,000 with it, which for a two-wheel drive loader tractor is plenty. That's plenty enough for a loader tractor, because you don't want to go busting spindles and breaking rims and breaking front axles and anything stupid like that. It's a tractor with a loader on it. It's not a backhoe, it's not a track loader, it's not a bulldozer. It can't replace a purpose-built loader. It's a loader on a tractor. And then obviously we ran the lines down for the third function. We just followed them up, or bent them the way the original lines went. Made it skid steer quick coupler. That way we can run any skid steer attachment with it, technically. Although you're limited with a 15 GPM pump. It'll run a small hydraulic motor, but I don't think you're going to hang a post hole digger or anything off of it. But we got the joystick with the extra third function all-in-one valve block. I can't remember where Dad bought that. It was not a Bailey, because at the time they didn't have the valve block with the third function as part of it. And then we ran it power beyond, which is what all those three lines around the hydraulic unit are. And to do actual power beyond on a Oliver, you need a 3-port valve. an actual 3-port power beyond valve. A 2-port, you don't get actual power beyond. If you use just a 2-port in and out valve, the way the hydraulics work on these, you'll get spool drift. If you're running another function, either with the remotes on the tractor or with the valve or whatever, it'll put back pressure on the valve that you're not using, and it will actually cause the other functions to drift. You need an actual 3-port real power beyond purpose-built valve for power beyond applications, because you got an in, you have pressure in, pressure out, and then power beyond, which I'm trying to remember which is which here. Yeah, this is in, this is out, and then this is power beyond. And the power beyond basically takes the back pressure off of the valves. And the in is obviously your pressure from the pump. Out should, if I remember right, dump back to tank, and then beyond feeds back to your 3-point and your remotes, if I remember right. But that's what these lines are for, is for the power beyond. Because it sucks, all your ports for your power beyond are on this side of the tractor, but the vast majority of the people that are going to plumb these up are going to want the joystick or valve or whatever they're putting on the other side. So you got to run everything around and back over there. Then you see a lot of guys just use hoses and crap and lay them up over or go down underneath, and it just looks ugly. So this was the cleanest thing Dad could come up with to run them. And then my chainsaw scabbard that I built, because if you're not using the bucket, you got nowhere to carry a chainsaw, and that was annoying. So I built that so I had a way to carry a saw around with me when I was using the Grapple. But yeah, that's the story on the loader that hopefully answers everybody's question, because every time I put this thing in a video, I get like 4 or 5 questions about what the loader is at the White 1170. Question answered. So anyhow, I guess I'm gonna go put this video together and put it up, and hopefully get a call from Napa about my damn bearing, because this is pissing me off. It's too late to start another project, and I don't know what to get into, so I'm basically screwed for the rest of the day. But anyhow, that's it for this one. We'll catch you all on the next one.